Roll Tide, everybody. Welcome to Elephant in the Room. That's Jay Coker. I'm Mick Gillispie. We talk Alabama football twice a week here on Cover Crimson, and we're brought to you by Pearl River Resort. We're going to be there later on this month. But before we talk about that, let's talk about some Alabama football. Jake had an opportunity to catch up with a lot of the coaches at a golf tournament, and Alabama steaming towards the fall. What's that look like? All that right here. But before we do anything else, let me play the most electrifying, satisfying, the best open in all of podcasting. Let me play Jake's open. All right, there he is, Jake Coker, national championship quarterback, two-time winner of the one-on-one mullet toss competition at the Floribama. He's the new snake down on
when we do this remote, that there's no sound in the intro, so all I do is watch this fat ass elephant walk across my screen in dead silence.
Well, he's whistling. Great to see you, brother. So what was the you first off, I feel like hanging out with you and Shank and Ryan Anderson, like you guys are kind of like the Senior Bowl dudes at this point. You know, the old guys from LA, like you guys show up, everybody wants to pal around with you. And you're in my backyard. I wasn't even here for it, which is shameful because I'm not going to miss it next year. But for the tournament, what was it like?
Oh man, it was awesome. Yeah, I mean, just to play to that comment, Scott Cooper, the guy who is basically putting that tournament on. We were talking when I was leaving, and he was talking about all the celebrities, and he looked at me and goes, the real celebrities. I mean, you just get invited because we just like to hang out. That's it. But yeah, man, it was awesome. Coach Cochran was there. Coach DeBoer, Ryan Grubb, played golf with Pete Golding. Coach Oates was there. Brought up his comment, or your comment at last mullet toss, asking if the mullet toss was the biggest sporting event he'd ever been to.
What did he say? He looked nervous there. He looked nervous at the mullet toss.
He loved it. He loved it.
I think he's fantastic. I love that guy.
He is. And the cool thing about it is, I know there's been some basketball coaches in the past who've gotten some love at Alabama, but to change the culture at Alabama basketball wise, and I told him this at that tournament. I mean, it has been so much fun to watch us be a threat to anybody we play. That intensity, the pride that he's kind of brought to the basketball program, you can't beat it. I mean, it's every Alabama fan, is always into football, but it's great to see, when we're playing in the tournament or we got a big game on the weekend, people are talking, wanting to get together and watch basketball now. It's made, February, March, April so much more fun when you got that chance. But he was great.
Well, it makes filling out your brackets a lot better.
Oh yeah. And man, Ryan Grubb, first time I met him, down at the tournament, and just seems like a real level-headed guy. Loves the atmosphere at Alabama. I think he really enjoys having his kids down here. He said, he's been in the NFL, so he came down here. I thought one of the funniest things he said was, how the college game has changed. He said he walked out in his front yard, and I won't mention names, but he said there was a player standing in his front yard, like randomly on a Sunday afternoon. And he was like, "What the hell are you doing here?" He's like, the player he's talking to goes, "Coach, I live right here." It's like living in the same neighborhood the coaches are living
I'm
in.
the guy next door, pal. I make a little bit more money than you, buddy.
I mean, he's like, what the hell? I mean, can you
It's
imagine?
where we are right now, man, with this whole thing.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, yeah. And when I was talking to Coach Cochran, I was talking to a group of guys, and I think Coach Grubb was right there, but telling that story about pulling into his neighborhood when he invited us over dinner before we left Alabama. Me and Ryan Kelly and Richard Mullaney, Dylan Lee. Uh, and you're driving through this neighborhood with all these nice hedges, and all of a sudden, we're trying to figure out which house is his. And then all of a sudden, you see a house like toys on the roof. There's a dead patch of grass in the front. And Coach Cocker walks out. What's up, mother?
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
What was
It's
it
just
like seeing
great.
him as a head coach at West Alabama?
Man, it was great. I can tell he loves where he's at. Uh, there's a lot of coaches. I think every coach is happy and proud of the players that make money and do things the right way, and they really enjoy coaching. Uh, but I think that Coach Saban said it when he retired. He said, it just felt like the priority was no longer in education, developing mentally, physically, becoming a better player, a better man, going to the NFL. He he that was his favorite thing about college coaching, and it seemed to have disappeared with NIL, right? And I know that he wanted the guys to get paid. It's just kind of a crazy ordeal right now, And Coach Cochran was just talking about how cool it is just to kind of come back and refresh. I mean, of course he's got a lot of work to do at West Alabama, but he doesn't have to deal with that rat race there, and he gets to get back to coaching and developing guys and and making them better players, better men, better prepared for the future in front of them. And I think he was so relaxed out there, had a great time. Me, Shank, Ryan, Anderson hung out with him for a good little bit after the tournament. Um, just just kind of reminiscing. Ryan was talking shit to me about how he got Shank to come to Alabama over me, even though I took Shank on his official visit. And he said, and Ryan said he told Shank the workouts weren't real bad, and Coach Cochran's sitting right there, and Ryan said, you know what the first thing Shank said to me after we got done working out that first time? He looked at me and pointed. He goes, "Bitch, you lied to me."
Yeah, Ryan was the guy that admitted that maybe he fabricated some of the stories that he told Shank, And then the funny thing about Shank, who's on my channel now, the Bama Tailgate channel, he never throws Ryan under the bus. Like he's always like, well, whatever, like Ryan throws himself under the bus.
Well, yeah, I mean, of all of us that you've met, of everybody you've met that I has been on our podcast, or I
Yeah,
mean, of all of them, you always got a friend that can just get away with anything.
that's Ryan.
Yeah, that's Ryan.
He's like
That's
a
Ryan.
Look, we've talked about him on Shank Show. Ryan has this ability to walk into a room and just connect with everybody in there. And
Oh
it
yeah.
really is amazing. Like it's just amazing. Like he's just that guy. He comes in and I'm not comfortable like that. You aren't either. You and I are probably the same when it comes to like, it's not that we don't like meeting people. It's just that we like to survey the area a little bit before we come in. Ryan Anderson just walks in and he's going to walk around the whole room and talk to everybody.
Well, yeah. I mean, I like to ease in there and make sure I'm polite. I get to know people a little bit.
Yeah.
When you bring Ryan, it's like just taking a grenade and throwing it right in the middle of the room.
It's his personality, man. Like he's just so comfortable, right?
Oh yeah. Well, he's just him. He's just a good guy. That's what he is, and everybody loves him.
Well, when you were, what was the golf tournament like? This, like, before we get into Alabama, like really Alabama football, did you have a chance to talk to Kalen DeBoer, Ryan Grubb, Kane Womack, any of the coaches?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's not like we didn't get into anything deep or anything, but got to see them. I think they're all pretty excited about next year. I know Coach Grubb is. I think he's really excited to get in there and play with some of the tools we got. I mean, I think he really missed the college game. I mean, he didn't say that outright or anything, but I could just tell he's got a real excitement, just the way he's talking about players, talking about some of the weapons we have, and being back with Kalen DeBoer. That's a partnership that we all know has lasted a long time. Those guys have been together for a while, and I think that comfort level, those two guys on the headset in the middle, when the shots are being fired, getting kind of that comfort back of being able to speak to somebody that's on the same page with you. You speak the same language. You kind of know where the other guy is, but also they've got a creative mind that may be stronger here where you're a little bit weak here, and gives you an opportunity to get in the right spot offensively. No matter what they throw at you, maybe it's something you hadn't seen too much, or it just gives you a better feel for the game moving forward, calling plays.
So, I mean, this is where we are right now. Alabama steaming towards the, obviously the spring through that, and then a little bit of law. No guys transferred in the spring transfer portal. Bama picked up a couple of tight ends, but they didn't add a whole lot of guys. But they didn't lose anybody. I think that really goes to show how the players that are here really respect the program.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's I think Kevin DeBoer's done a good job of making it a really fun family type atmosphere. I mean, it was from my first coaches. I mean, a lot of times, middle school, high school, wherever I went, I felt like every coach I ever had always talked about how the fun's in the winning, and that's how it was at Alabama. I mean, the practices, the workouts, everything was just really intense. But again, the focus was on winning, and if you enjoyed winning, that was the place to be, right? It's just a different era now. I mean, you got to make things a little more fun, I guess, to keep guys out of the transfer portal. And you got to feel like you're being communicated with, and coaches, are giving you respect. It's odd, but I think Caleb DeBoer has done his best to create that type of atmosphere where everybody feels like they got a place and they're developing under him. And it's probably a little more fun to show up at 5:30 on Monday to work out. I mean, sometimes getting up that early and going to work out, just day in, day out, got kind of crazy. But, that was all a part of being consistently in the national championship. It only happened one way back then. And, again, I don't really know what the standard is now. I hadn't been to any practices since NIL started, but it definitely seems like the culture in college football has changed. I mean, we can all have our opinions, and it's I don't like the way it's being run now, and the lack of loyalty bothers me. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things that you try to figure out. How's all of it going to work out? You got to get paid as a player, but you also have to go out there and perform. And that's those are two different things, right? Like you want the NIL money, but are you going to be ready to go out there and perform and earn the money that you're getting paid? right?
Yep.
And I think that's a fair question. I mean, it's anything that we do here.
And are you mature enough to handle that payday and continue to perform? Are you a guy that of course, I mean, the money's coming from all different places, but you wonder if some of these kids are going to get that payday and just kind of fall off the map.
Well, I mean, and to me, it's like, how do you take it from, the NIL money going out there and performing to like actually earning a paycheck? Like, because some guys are going to get that NIL money and they're not going to understand that it's not just the money. It's like you got to go out there and earn that.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, a lot of times that money, most of the time, that money is coming from somebody that has come through a long time before you and loves Alabama, loves everything about it, the tradition, the people, wants to see Alabama succeed because, I mean, if you graduate from Alabama and you don't love Alabama, then you kind of I wouldn't understand it. But all these guys that want to see this team succeed, they want Alabama to be the best that Alabama can be in every facet of the institution. And so, when they put that money on the table and give you that opportunity, give you that money, I feel like you should feel like you owe something, to those guys for taking that chance and making that sacrifice on you to give you a better life. I mean, playing football and at Alabama getting paid sounds like the best scenario of all time. So,
Right.
I mean, there needs to be some appreciation and some loyalty for that.
Yeah. No. I'm telling you, I totally see it the same way. And
Well, look, I mean, we've talked about, the Nico Iamaleava situation. I mean, again, I feel bad for the kid because I think he got horrible advice. And, honestly, I hope it wasn't his dad because I think he took a 60% pay cut. And then on top
yeah,
of that, with the taxes in California, it's going to be brutal. Man, sometimes you just need to say, I agree with Cam Newton on this. He said, you go to college, you go to develop, and the money's just, that's just something extra on top. I mean, if you're in that conversation for big paydays, you likely have a good opportunity at the NFL anyway. So you need to go to the place that makes you most comfortable and gives you the best opportunity to play and succeed. I mean, getting too caught up in this money in college. I mean, you watch guys fall in the draft by the way they act and the way they treat some of these institutions that are giving them this opportunity. And I mean, when you go play somewhere and you leave, you want everybody to say, "Man, that guy did it the right way." And that really, I mean, again, you look around at the way some of this stuff has gone in the draft, and that carries a lot of weight with where you get picked.
yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, and they're saying that Alabama may have 4 first-round picks on this year's team. Potentially for next year, but basically the 2026 draft. I think it takes a lot of those first round picks to be successful. I mean, I think you need as many like star players as you can have.
Oh yeah, well, it's like you look at this Tyler Booker situation. I mean, rumors were going around at how much more money he could have made, at other schools. I mean, he sticks it out at Alabama. It shows a lot of love for Alabama, and he leads that team making less than where he could have made money somewhere else. Saw it through and is rewarded by being the 22nd pick in the draft.
Right.
I mean, the only one where we talked about it, I think, in the last show, but the only one where I look at where I don't think anybody blames you if you leave and you take NIL money is Quinn Ewers. I mean,
Right.
you're kind of getting pushed out by back. What's his name? Manning, Arch Manning, and man, gosh, you got an $8 million deal on the table somewhere else. That'd be a hard deal to pass up on because, I mean, that's what, late first round money right there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's somebody starts talking $8 million. It may give you a pass. I mean, at that point, you may need to start looking at it. I mean, but if you're talking, if you're making $2 million and you want to make an extra 500,000 or million, I mean, I don't know. It's hard.
I mean, he didn't do too well. You know what I mean? And I mean, when you think about it, there weren't a lot of first round quarterback selections. I mean, like one. So a lot of these guys went in the second round. Milroe went where he went. Shador Sanders was Shador.
Well, I guess there was two.
Sanders was in the fifth round.
Jackson Dart went too.
Where did he go?
Giants, late first round.
Okay, late first round. So two guys in the first round.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And
I mean, right.
I think Dylan Gabriel in the second or third. I can't remember. But yeah, it wasn't a quarterback heavy draft, at least on the front end.
Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of where we are right now. Kind of on the whole thing is just every year's different, every draft's different than the year before. And it's kind of like, you look at Alabama and you got two offensive linemen that could be first round picks next year. Caden Proctor and Jalen Roberts, maybe Deontay Lawson, right? Maybe Damani Jackson. I mean, you go through, like, it takes all of those guys. Nobody's talking about Ty Simpson, but I mean, he's another guy that is really important to this program right now. And I'm thinking that you guys kind of remind me of each other, just the styles of quarterback that you played. And we're all excited about seeing him get in the role, but he's a lot more athletic than they're giving him credit for. He's got a great arm. He knows football, grew up around it, and he's going to be a guy that they're going to depend on.
Yeah, I think, when you're replacing a guy who's played a couple of years, I think a first-year guy is always – everybody's a little bit nervous about the first time a guy plays, right? Just an unproven starter. But, Ty to me is one of those guys who's going to come in and it's not going to take a whole lot of time for him to get game ready or to look like – he's got, in-game experience in big moments. I mean, in the limited time we've seen and some of the practice stuff, I mean, he sees things very quickly, right? I mean, he gets the ball out. He understands where he needs to be. He understands protections. And, I mean, to me, that's what AJ was, right? I mean, AJ was always, he anticipated very well. Got the ball out, was picking guys up, understood to when to take what the defense gave him. Played in the league for 11 years because he was so mentally talented and physically talented too. I mean, obviously. But what set him apart to me was his mentality and just the way he really protected the ball and put it where it needed to be accurately, way more often than not.
Yeah. And so, I mean, so much of this comes down to that, the quarterback play. But one of the guys that everybody keeps talking about is Bray Hubbard. We met him at the mullet toss. He threw it further than you, which, I don't want to rub that in, but a former quarterback from high school, really good dude, and a safety that everybody's just kind of like looking at going, man, this guy's kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was a fluke. It was a fish slipped out of my hand. Yeah, I liked him a lot when we met him at the mullet toss. I mean, he seems like a guy that's got a good head on his shoulders, and I couldn't believe, last year when golly, who got hurt and he came in. Anyway, when he came in,
It was
I mean,
Keon Sabb.
yeah, I mean, you remember last year during the show? I mean,
Yeah.
I was
You were
shocked.
like, this guy knows his stuff.
Oh yeah, he was where he's supposed to be all the time, like no busts, and he was physical, um, which is one of the scariest things you can play against in college football. A guy who just does not screw up, and he just punishes dudes when you throw the ball late or don't put it in the right spot. I mean, because let me tell you, it feels bad throwing an interception, but one of the worst feelings you can have is just teeing a guy up for a safety or a linebacker to just hammer, and then that walk back to the sideline, watching one of your boys just wind knocked out of him or a broken rib or something. I mean, that's a scary dude to play.
Well, he's a good dude, and it kind of, shows like why he's so important to this team. And then you see him throw a fish that far from Ocean Springs, Mississippi. You know that this guy has got it figured out. What was your final thoughts on the golf tournament? I mean, you had to enjoy being around all those people.
Yeah, I mean, I rode in the cart with Pete Golding, and the first tee he teed up a red ball, and I mean, you know how I am at golf tournaments. He tees up that red ball, and I looked around at my teammates, and I was like, "That's usually not a good sign." It's like that's when you're gonna be carrying his ass around the golf course all day long, and then he hammers one like 290, dead center of the fairway. I was like, okay, can't judge a book by its cover. Guy can hammer it, guy can play.
He hit some bombs, huh?
Oh yeah. So I guess he's had some time to be on the course. Sounds like Lane doesn't have him meeting too much, which is a good thing. Uh, hopefully we take advantage of that in the fall.
That is pretty funny. Well, and we got a lot of off season before the regular season starts, but I honestly, man, I'm pretty excited about kind of where this program is right now. Getting there, like I like the quarterback battle. Um, not just Ty Simpson, but Austin Mack and Keon Russell. I love having Ryan Grubb back in the mix. And then I love hearing Kalen DeBoer basically say, hey, there's things that we need to do better. And a lot of it's discipline.
Yeah. I mean, that can never be an aspect of the team that's a weakness, right? False. You can't kill yourself. SEC's hard enough, when you play good. Makes it pretty damn hard to have 5, 6, 10 penalties against Georgia,
Right.
and pull out a W. Last year felt like we could have definitely been a lot better from a discipline standpoint. But again, last year when we were guessing how many wins we'd have, I think I said 9. I think Shank said 8. You know, for Kevin DeBoer to come in year one and beat Georgia, get some signature wins. I mean, I thought that went a long way, especially in the transfer portal period or timeline. I'm excited. I think he's going to do really well. I think he's going to figure it out in his own way at Alabama. He just needs time. And discipline's a hard thing to get nailed down with it in your first year, and you got you having to replace like 26 dudes. I mean,
yeah.
Now, I mean, having said that, you want to see us get better incrementally over the next few years. But last year, I mean, shit. I don't care who. I don't care if you got Vince Lombardi coming in there. Good luck, buddy.
Yeah, right. Well, look, man, I know one thing for sure. We're going to be at Pearl River Resort at the end of May to hang out with our buddy Steve Azar. We're going to bring him on this show. Me Till Monday. You know that. You're a country music fan. You know that song.
I had to drive from Birmingham back to Mobile yesterday. And I was thinking about the show at the end of the month, Steve Azar, and I blared that song a couple times. So
be Me Till Monday. We're gonna have fun. We'll be there.
Yeah.
You guys are welcome to come to end of the month. We'll be there in the middle of the week. But we appreciate Pearl River for getting our backs, and we want to tell you guys about the Timeout Sports Lounge at Golden Moon Casino. It's a Vegas style sports book right there in Mississippi, Philadelphia, Mississippi. Table games and slots, Silver Star and Golden Moon, a great concert series. You got Dancing Rabbit Golf Course, which is the Augusta you can play. And you don't have to be like Jake and play golf in tournaments every week. You just maybe you just want to go out and hit the ball around a little bit. Or maybe you're I love riding the cart with you. And you're just like, you are a great golfer. I'm not taking that away from you. But Azaleas, the Oaks, two awesome golf courses, that basically are part of Dancing Rabbit Golf Course. You don't need a membership to play. The water park, Geyser Falls, it's that time of year. Spa, all of it over at Pearl River Resort. And so you guys, we appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. And we definitely love them for hanging. And we'll be there. Like I said, we'll be there at the end of the month. You know that. And we'll have Steve Azar on the pod. I can't wait to ask Steve some really tough questions.
Some hard hitters.
Let's get him. Let's get him. Like, it ain't going to be one of these half-hour deals. It's going to be one of our long podcasts where we can really find out who Steve Azar is. You know those?
I'm gonna be digging through a biography before that podcast starts.
You know what I'm talking about. We hit him hard. How did you get here? Why'd you write this song?
Yeah.
What's it like being famous?
Yeah. He won't be running for president after our interview's over.
Like, subscribe, thumbs up. Guys, thanks for hanging with us. And don't forget, covercrimson.com. Right now, $75 for the annual subscription. That's $25 off. Roll Tide.
Escape to Pearl River Resort.